little bit better. Okay, we're going to go back to the quality for a second because all I had was Epic and Magnet on there. So 2018, what are we looking at? Our shared governance, you know that we've talked about that with the committees, that they need to reflect on what the hospital goals are also. So that is a big one that we're doing. And then the other two we've talked to you about is our on-time starts and our room turnover times. And a lot of this came from a survey that went out to our physicians, and these are things that were extremely important to them. So looking at on-time starts, so our target for this year is 65% on-time start with a reach of 80% on time. And we're talking on time, we dropped that 10-minute period where they could come in, you know, up to 10 minutes after the scheduled start time. Now the scheduled start time is your on time. So if you're scheduled at 7:30 and you come in at 7:31, it is a delay, and we are late. So we're working with the surgeons. Chris has sent out a letter to all of our surgeons regarding our initiatives that's on there. The anesthesia group, I know Dr. Coley has sent a letter out to all his people regarding what we're working on. And then all peri-op staff is involved in this, from PAT getting our patients ready to AOD, you know, the day of surgery getting ready, to us being prepared, and SPD having our instrumentation. So it is a joint venture to, you know, raise it up to this. Vicki keeps stats with us every day, and if you notice outside of her office, there actually is a board up there that will tell you pretty much daily what we're doing, what our delays are, and, you know, how we can fix these delays. We're looking at them each day. Room turnovers is the other thing, and this is the one that involves the whole team, your service line leaders, your floats, your PNAs, your anesthesia techs, the anesthesia team, all are involved in our turnovers. And when we're talking turnovers, remember, we're talking about those true cases that are back-to-back cases, from the wheels out to the wheels in on there. And the main thing that comes across, though, is patient safety is always number one. If you're in PACU and you're having patients having difficulties, you're going to stay with that patient. You're not going to leave them to go and do your quick turnover or anything. Just remember, we're always watching patient safety first on there. Okay, we went kind of through the finances on there. I wanted to put down that 2018, the goal is a 6% increase as far as caseload that's on there. That kind of captures our 3% that we should have had last year, and then the additional 3% that will be for this year. On growth for 2018, we are actively looking at increasing different service lines. They are looking for a new CV surgeon come on board. Neurosurgery is another one. Orthopedics are looking for another physician to join the MOST group that's over there. And we are looking at ways to build GYN, which is kind of really sunk, and we're not real sure what's going on with that service line that's there. Looking ahead for 2018, so this was our 5th year for DMV to come on board. Usually they come in March, but we're in that window where they could come at any time, so we need to start beginning to prepare again for them. We are doing audits on your timeouts. We're looking at charts to make sure that it's filled in. And one of the things that I know they're auditing that we haven't quite achieved 100% on is our physicians' H&Ps, not just the paper ones that come in where they haven't filled everything out on it, but we're also looking at, did they do their updates? And that is something that y'all need to make sure you're checking each day that they have done their updates and they put it in before you take your patients back. And then we'll be coming around to your room and just kind of, how well do you know your patients? Because when DMV comes through, they want to know, do you know your history of physical on your patient? Do you know the procedure? Do you know why they're having this procedure? Do you know what their allergies are? You should be able to go through and know these things on it. And the thing with, you know, what we did on our count sheets, we put on the back of there the S-bar on there that you can go through. And that's a great way not only to go through if someone's asking you about your patient, but also on your handoff reports. I don't know how many of you are actually still using that, but the ones that do, and I've come in and they've done a handoff to me, it's an excellent tool, you know, to actually utilize on there. The other is our patient satisfaction survey that's coming up, and then realize that they have mixed the surgeons with the employees now, so we're all kind of one group that's on there. So kind of remind our surgeons too, you know, as far as how they address our patients and the families. Magnet, we're looking for new projects again. That'll be, renewal will be in 2021, correct? And that'll be in 4 years. Okay, employee opinion survey. So we recently took this. This was in October, and 78 out of the 97 of us have taken the survey. The results are compiled by a third-party company. And then all surveys are confidential. And then the surveys covered questions about your work unit, about fellow employees, about your direct management, upper management, and then the organization. And so going over the strengths that we had, strengths were that we felt that we were confident that Methodist will be successful in the coming years, that Houston Methodist treats our employees with respect, that our patient safety is a priority for us. In our work unit, there are ways that we discuss to prevent errors, that our job makes good use of our skills and abilities, and that Houston Methodist contributes back to the community. So these are all good, strong points. These are kind of things that have shown up over the last couple years, that we've always believed that Methodist is very strong and very high on our patient priority for safety. Some of the concerns this year that came up were that you were concerned regarding the satisfaction with the recognition that you received, concerns over climate of trust within your unit, and concerns with that employees are not fully attentive to the needs of others, concerns that our unit does not work well together and communication between shifts is not effective. We have come repeat theme on some of these, and a lot of them have to do with how we deal with each other, how well we work with each other, how well we go out and help one another in the cases. And I'll go over some of these, and then I want to get some feedback from you all. So on the part of it, what we've done previously in the past is we've done the kudos and we've done the movie tickets, and I think everybody kind of enjoys getting a pat on the back, especially from their peers, to hear, you know, this guy really stepped out and really helped me on this. And I think that's important. I'd like to continue, you know, doing the kudos. Shared governance now, I know Rachel's taking with her group part of looking at doing the birthdays, celebrations, and anniversary recognitions that'll be coming up on there. But is there another way that you guys want to be recognized? This was a concern from you, so I want to hear from you as to how you feel would be a good way for recognition for y'all.
How about something regarding attendance, perhaps?
Okay.
I'm not sure if that enters into your deal or not.
So basically hold people accountable for the attendance rules, is that what we're talking about?
No, I think she's saying more to be appreciative for being one.
The people that are here
constantly here all the time working.
Versus people who call in a lot.
Yeah.
Or come in late.
Are there other things that you want to be recognized regarding attendance or any other thing else? Yes, ma'am.
How do you actually see carry on week sort of our awards by service, not service time, but by category? Maybe we can start doing that this carry on week celebration.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, so as you start to think this week, if things come up to you that are important to you, please let us know, and we can look into those things, because I understand we work extremely hard, and some days go by in a blur because we're constantly going. But recognition is extremely important. You know, we're a good, strong team here, and we do need to be recognized, and sometimes just a pat on the back just makes you feel good that it was worth coming in and doing a stressful day. So keep us up to date on things that we can help regarding that. Okay, on communication. So adequate communication affects many aspects. You know, it affects our patient safety. It prevents misunderstandings. It builds a trust between each of us, and it builds a stronger working relationship with each other. And I was talking before regarding the handoff reports, because I do hear a lot regarding, okay, it's 3 o'clock, I want out of here. Well, okay, 3 o'clock, that's fine, but your shift ends at 3:15. And the reason that we did a shift change at 3 or 5 or 7 is so that you have 15 minutes to do an adequate handoff report. And this has to do, again, with safety. How many times have we done a handoff report and then find out later we don't know where these laps are, or this needle is, or we have a miscount or something, or we didn't know that this patient had, you know, whatever condition or something. Extremely important that we're doing an adequate report. And that's why I say again, I really like the back of the count sheets where things are written down and it's there precisely. Even if you've done the handoff report verbally, they've got it written right in front of them so that when they go to do their handoff report with PACU or ICU, they have everything that's there since they haven't been with the patient since the beginning. Other ways of communication. I'm handing that out to you. How else would you like to improve your communication? And I know it's Monday morning, and it's hard to wake up and think of these things. But kind of put that out there and think about, you know, helping each other out and how we're going to communicate. Attentive to others, and this is a big one, but it's so easy to do. So you have to think, how many times have you had a flip room and you were the second case, or you didn't have an 8 o'clock or a 9 o'clock start, or you're down for an hour and a half. You think, did you go to your neighbor? Did you check your flip room and see if they were ready for their 7:30 start? Because you had enough time to get yours done. When you were taking your break, you know, you had an hour and a half between. Did you sit at the front desk and just wait, you know, until your time come up? Or did you go check the other rooms to see if anybody need anything? Or did someone have scrub tech as their float and you could give a break to somebody and help out in that way? These are things that you're accountable for, that you have to really step out. Nobody can make you and constantly follow you and say, you know, you really should be helping out on here or there. It's an expectation of all of us that we reach out and help each other. But just think of those days where you've had a horrible day and you've either had 6 cases back to back to back to back and someone came in to help you. You know, how does that make you feel? Where that it's not their job, but they came in because they had some downtime. Doesn't that make your day a lot easier and a lot better? Well, you want to reciprocate that to other people too. So it's extremely important that we reach out to each other and kind of think out of that box instead of going to get that coffee break or sit for another 20, 15 minutes. Let's help each other out instead. What can you do for your own room? The other thing is if your room doesn't start till 8 o'clock, why are we running our PCAs around to go get this equipment, that equipment, when they have other rooms that are starting at 7:30 who truly do need their help where we could get our own stuff? You know, why are we doing that? You have to reach out. You can do your own things. If you're done and you have nothing else going or you don't have a case for an hour and a half, put your stuff away. Put your own equipment away. We don't have to rely on them all the time. We can do it ourselves too when there's opportunity. And then respond to a call for help. How many times have you walked down the hall and you hear 4th call for turnover or moving help on there, and we just walk right on by? You know? No. Or you're sitting at the front desk and you hear that and nobody gets up to do anything. You got to reach out. We have to be able to help out to each other. And I know, you know, this happens on a daily basis, and I'm not saying everybody's in that boat. A lot of us are constantly helping each other out. And kudos to y'all, because that's what makes it a better day for other people. So if we all can help out with that, I think that'll be help us on building our trust and our communication with each other, and enjoyable, you know, job-wise too. The last is asking for help yourself. So if you have one of those days and it's just horrible, not everybody knows what you're going through. You may think, you know, okay, well, nobody cares, nobody comes by here. They may not know, you know, they don't know what they don't know. And if you don't call out and say, look, I'm sinking, I need help, we're not going to be able to know that also. So always, you got the front desk, you've got me, you've got Kim, call out and let us know what's going on if you're having difficulty and we need to get in there or get somebody in there to help you guys out. So overall, we've acknowledged that we work for a high-quality hospital where patient safety is a priority and where we are treated with respect and our skills are used efficiently. We feel there should be improvement with communication and actively reaching out to assist others in order to help build trust, improve our relationships, and to ensure our unit works well together, and that we would like to be recognized for good work. Is there anything, and I think that's it, is there anything else you guys would like to go over or talk about? Nope. Okay. Then get to work. No, I'm kidding. I do want to remind you all that it is a paid weekend, so there's a couple of you I haven't approved their time cards because I've got a question on it. So if you haven't seen, if you see that yours hasn't been approved, come and see me so we can go over that with you. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Just one thing to just to add, some of our volume scores are actually more than 6%. So it's 6% increase in outpatients and 3% increase in inpatients. So all in all, it's a big, challenge that we're meeting. So it's all about providing capacity, providing service when we need that for both our outpatients and inpatients. Also for the implications for our patient satisfaction scores. So I'm not sure if all of you are aware of what we call the HCAHPS scores for inpatients. So we're basically going to be, so for inpatients, there are metrics. We get money or do not get money based on our rating on the HCAHPS scores for inpatients. That was not, we were not affected as a department for outpatients in the past. Now, this year, we're looking at the ambulatory, similar to HCAHPS scores for ambulatory. So different metrics again. If we meet those metrics, the federal government would withhold, or give us or withhold money based on our rating on those metrics. So it's really critical that we're all focused on the goals, not just, well, we just want to increase our scores, but there are really sort of implications behind it. Implications of course, patient satisfaction, customer loyalty, and then also a financial implication if we do not meet certain parameters. And then, of course, the biggest implication is us and the viability of the organization. So we'll keep you posted to when this is actually going to roll out. But we've been playing around with this ambulatory HCAHPS scoring for about a year and a half. It's been pushed back into when it's actually going to be implemented. They're talking about 2018 going to be implemented, so more information coming back to us there.
Okay, so Karen is on vacation this week, and they worked all night last night, so I'll be running the desk up there. If you guys need any help, please let me know, and I'll be glad to assist you out. So let's get started.
Can I speak with the CD team, please?